How many discounts does USAA Auto Insurance offer? Too many to say here. Multi-vehicle discount, safe driver discount, new vehicle discount, storage discount, legacy.
How many discounts will you stack up? Visit USAA.com/auto discounts. Restrictions apply.
Hey, it's Paris. You know I love sparkly things, right? Like stars. Duh. And thanks to Hilton and Auto Camp, I just slept under them. Picture me, serving looks by the fire outside my luxurious Airstream, making s'mores with the kids, while a national park is our backdrop. The great outdoors meets Hilton hospitality. That's hot. Explore all the new ways to stay at Hilton.com. Hilton for the stay.
Does she require more surgery?
She may require more surgery.
Does the medication stop the problem, or she still has to wear a diaper?
It improves the problem, but she still wears a diaper. She still wears a diaper. I do have also...
Because you have so much white furniture?
This is the plaintiff, Lara Sessler. She says she purchased an adorable Wheaten Terrier named Sadie from the defendant's store, and after a few days, she noticed the poor thing was leaking urine. Turns out she had a bilateral ectopic uterus, which means her uterers aren't connected to her bladder. The poor thing has to wear diapers, which have to be changed throughout the day and night, and the defendant owes her $5,000, the amount she's suing for today. This is the defendant, Mike Mangiarcina. He says the plaintiff called him 2.5 months after the purchase of the puppy, complaining of a urine problem. His vet confirmed the problem with the pup. He offered to give her a new one or to refund her money, but she insisted on a $5,000 operation, which wasn't even guaranteed to cure the problem. He has no obligation to pay for that kind of procedure and is sure the judge will agree. He's accused of selling a defective dog.
All parties, please raise your right hand.
What you are about to witness is real. The participants are not actors. They are actual litigants with a case pending in civil court. Both parties have agreed to drop their claims and have their cases settled here before Judge Marilyn Milian in our forum, the People's Court.
Be seated. Come to order, please. Litigants have been sworn, Your Honor.
Thank you, Douglas.
You're welcome, ma'am.
Lara Sessler, you are suing New York Kennel Club and Mike Mangiarcina. You're the owner?
Yes, sir. Yes,
okay, ma'am.
Excuse
Oh, you
me.
already started off bad. for $5,000, you say you predict that you will be out $31,000, okay? Because according to you, he sold you a sick puppy. Tell me what happened.
Okay, good afternoon, Your Honor. My husband and I purchased our first home on September 1st. We moved in of last year. We wanted to add to the family, so we went to our local puppy store and purchased a Wheaten Terrier. This was October 8th for $1,300. Then after speaking with the defendant, he assured us that he does not get any of his dogs from puppy mills, so we felt assured. We purchased our puppy and we brought her home.
Okay.
At this time, we started noticing, the dog leaking urine and having urinary problems. We thought maybe she was just being a puppy, maybe, and we sought advice from 3 different veterinarians. They suggested that we try incontinence medicine. They said they've never seen a dog this young with incontinence. Usually it happens in older dogs. So we started the incontinence medicine. We were trying everything. That did not do anything. They suggested that we might have to do invasive surgery, that, it seems...
What was wrong with the dog?
They said that they couldn't tell where it was. This was actually, his vet did an x-ray. They couldn't find out where exactly it was, but they did confirm. She had bilateral ectopic ureters, which means that they were not connected properly to her bladder. She was leaking urine directly out.
So what was it they couldn't find out where it was? Because that's in the same place and...
They couldn't find out where it was leaking from. It was medical terminology.
They couldn't find out where the leak was. Okay.
So we elected to do the surgery. And at that time, before the surgery, I notified the defendant that, this is what was going on. It took us a couple of months to figure out what it was. We weren't quite sure. And now that we figured it out, we're going to go ahead with the surgery. And I asked him, if he would contribute towards the veterinary bills, So.
And what did he say?
He said he would offer me a new dog. And I said, well, what are you going to do with our dog? We've already grown attached to our dog. We're not giving our dog up. We're clearly going to move forward with this surgery. And then he offered me, in the alternative, the amount that he paid his dog broker, which was $600. And when we went to go pick it up, he wanted me to sign a document that settled all future claims against him. And I had done a tally of our damages, and it was almost $7,000 in medical expenses, so I wasn't going to agree to that. And then I have, copies of every, medical visit, procedure, et
Hand
cetera.
my bailiff, please, all of the medical records
Yeah.
for the dog. Do you have a picture of the dog?
I do.
Can I see it?
This is when we first brought her home.
I don't know where.
Oh, they come up here?
Yeah.
Yeah, they should be up there.
So that was her as a puppy when we first brought her home. This is her. She has to wear diapers every single day.
Really?
Every single day. So I have to
Is she
pay.
always wearing diapers or
Always.
wears them at night?
She wears them most of the time when we're home, when she's walking around the house, but during the day we don't keep her on because we don't want her to get infections when she's created during the day. And this is her. Then you could see there's, urine on the floor.
Did the dog have the surgery?
She had the surgery.
And was it successful?
It was successful in that it fixes where the urine is going to, but typically 40 to 60% of dogs have secondary incontinence issues because these dogs have never used their bladder before. They're using these muscles for the first time, so she continues to have incontinence and will have to be medicated.
Is that gonna go away or no?
No, she'll be medicated for the rest of her life. And I also
Does she require more surgery?
She may require more surgery.
Does the medication stop the problem, or she still has to wear a diaper?
It improves the problem. But she
Does
still
she
wears
still
a
wear a
diaper.
diaper?
She still wears a diaper. I do have also.
Because you have so much white furniture?
She's only allowed, and she gets bathed every day. So this is only after bath and diapering. So I do have letters from two.
Do you work?
What?
Do you work?
I have a full-time job.
I don't know how you're doing this. I mean,
I
the
come
dog
home-
is beautiful,
I
and it's
know.
a huge sacrifice. I don't know how you're doing this.
I come home during the day to let her out and take care of her. It's a lot of work. She's a special needs dog. And we're committed. So I do have 2 letters from the surgeon, one from the surgeon and one from our vet that verifies the amount of medication she takes, the diaper wearing.
Out of curiosity, do they use the words unfit for purchase?
Who?
Let me see the letters from your doctor.
Okay.
Let me hear from you. So she calls you and she tells you what is going on.
Thank you, Your Honor. She called me about 2.5 months after her purchase. I haven't heard from her before that time, and informs me that there's an issue with the dog's urinating constantly. I had asked her at the time, had she seen the vet? Had she seen my vet? She said she saw my vet, and agreed with her vet that this requires a special, surgery. I said I would do anything to help you. Let me communicate with my broker and the breeder and see what they're willing to do. It's past the 14 days, according to New York State agricultural law.
What did she say when you explained to her that New York law requires her to bring up a congenital defect within the first 14 days after the sale?
She said,
She probably said, I had no way of knowing.
She was disappointed, had no way of knowing, and I felt terrible.
Yeah.
And I felt terrible for the dog, and I felt terrible for them. And I don't want this court to believe that I was cold-hearted. I did everything I could to help.
You didn't do everything.
Yes, I did. No, she gathered.
You got $600 from the breeder.
She gathered.
And you would only give it to her.
Well, there's a reason.
I'm talking. You would only give it to her if she waived her right to sue you, which is smart. It's smart. It's good business.
Yes, Your Honor.
But I wouldn't say you did everything you could. You offered her $600 in return for not suing you, which is generous. Because what am I supposed to do with this New York law? You offered her more than you had to, I guess, but it's not everything you could.
And I also offered her another puppy from a different breeder. And Your Honor,
What's she gonna have? Have 2 puppies with a special needs dog?
I want the court to know, this is from a top veterinary journal that says that breed, specifically that breed, is prone to that situation that it
Really?
had.
Let me see that. Had you read about the breed's history or this propensity that he says is?
I had not. I read about the breed. I had not read about that propensity until it
After?
happened, and then, I do have information about where this particular dog came from.
Go ahead.
As do I.
Hold on.
So, my husband and I relied on the defendant's statement. He assured us that none of his dogs come from puppy mills. I have, the breeding certificate of pedigree here says that it came from Iowa. We contacted non-for-profit organizations as well as the USDA in Iowa and have pictures of the grounds where our dog was born. They house over 1,000 adult dogs. Their feet never touch the ground.
Meaning that they're in cages?
They're in cages, and their
Okay.
feet never touch the ground. There's an
How do I know that? Because you say so? Like, do you have some article or something?
I do. I have emails from the president of the Friends of Companions in Iowa, which is a non-for-profit organization, and then a separate Iowa organization.
Let me see what you have there.
Sure. There have been a number of reports filed against him, although
Against who?
Against
that company or him?
Against both of them. I
Okay.
have complaints against both parties.
Okay, and what happened with the complaints? Were they investigated and they found against him?
I
or
don't
no?
have results. I just have complaints filed with the New York Department of Agriculture that they purchased sick dogs from the defendant.
How many?
At least 2 over the past couple of years.
How many years have you been in business?
5.
In addition,
What
over
happened with those complaints?
Welcome back to the People's Court. Harvey Levin here. What's the best place to get a dog? At a pet store or at a rescue type place?
A rescue.
Why?
Because we have so many dogs that need homes. So pet stores, they're selling them for an over profit. Too much.
Okay, what do you think?
I say a pet store.
Why?
Because I used to work in one, and I know they regularly inoculate the dogs and make sure that.
But there are also puppy mill problems in some of them, right?
Yeah, but then you have more and more.
Which dogs are better, dogs at pet stores or rescues?
I would say pet stores.
Oh, God, you're so wrong. You're so wrong. Oh, I got to tell you why you're wrong. I'll tell you what. I'll tell you why you're wrong after the judge rules, okay?
Okay.
Going inside the courtroom.
Well, I've never been written up or fined by New York State Agriculture.
What happened with those complaints?
Nor the SPCA. Well, I'd have to know which ones they are. But, Your Honor, when a puppy leaves the store, and New York State stands behind us, it's not uncommon for puppies to have parasites or worms. We treat that for free. If they have a cough or a cold, we would treat that for free. Hereditary or congenital things are unforeseen. I'm not a vet, and it's up to a licensed vet to deem that the puppy's unfit for sale.
How does a person who buys a $1,300 dog protect themselves from this? I guess the answer is just like when you buy a used car.
Yes, ma'am.
And you have to get it inspected by a professional because you don't have X-ray vision, you don't have the knowledge to figure. If I ever go out and buy a $1,300 breed, should I take it to the vet for X-rays? Is that it? Like, how does one, just because if you have 14 days to come up with your complaint about a congenital defect, and remember, first of all, my heart bleeds for you. I feel very bad. I feel particularly bad because you've got this dog in a diaper in your beautiful new house with white furniture, and it's so time consuming, and that you obviously are a good pet owner and a loving person because your immediate response to this was, I'm going to nurse you for years with a diaper, which is lovely. I'd like to think I would do the same thing. I got to be honest, I'm not sure. I mean, you're a way better person than I am. All right? So my heart bleeds for you, but I don't write the law. I just got to follow it.
Right.
And we have a problem, which is that you have 14 days under New York and most other state laws will give you a limited amount of time to come up with a congenital defect. What do I do with that? Tell me what to do. I think it's awful. I think that you know what I want it to be rewritten to? 14 days after a congenital defect is discovered.
Yes.
That's what it should be.
Absolutely.
With due diligence. Add the phrase with due diligence. Because if you don't discover it because you're a lazy pet owner, you never take your dog to the vet, that's one thing. But it's crazy. It's crazy.
Yeah.
But what do I do?
I don't know. I have something else.
The best argument you have is this. So I told them I didn't want to buy a puppy from a puppy mill. I said, well, it's not a puppy mill. But there's no legal definition of what puppy mill means. So let's look, okay, well, you say it's a mill because there's just too many dogs. I'm sure that discussion didn't come up. Just the term puppy mill was used. And so you have something in your head of what that means. He has something in his head. There's no legal definition of the phrase puppy mill. So that's not a warranty that he lied about or some such other nonsense. What do I do with the 14 days? I'm begging you. Tell me what to do with the 14 days, because I hate it.
I can give you something else.
Give me something. I'm dying for something to hang my hat on.
The defendant also is currently advertising on his storefront window 5-year health warranty written out in large letters. Where's my 5-year health warranty?
I don't know, when you bought one.
It's in your folder.
Huh? It's in her folder?
It's in her folder, and it specifically says that the 5 years covers coughs, colds, vomiting, diarrhea, leptospirosis, Lyme's disease, and that's what it covers.
Doesn't cover
it doesn't cover hereditary congenital issues.
But, I mean, inducement of consumers into your storefront with 5-year health warranty.
I'm sorry. Are you a lawyer?
I am.
I can, oh my God, I can smell lawyer. I can smell it from a mile away. Okay, first of all, show me your contract where he induced you in there with a promise that congenital defects would be covered, because that is something for me to hang my hat on.
I didn't sign a contract, though.
Right. Let me ask you this question. Do you have then, since you didn't sign a contract and you can't prove that he promised you some congenital defect coverage, how are you going to prove to me that that's what he promised you? Because we both know it isn't. He never said to you, I'd cover
He verbally assured me that none of his dogs come from puppy mills. I have a video of the actual mill that my dog came from.
And I stand behind that.
Okay, we're done. And it breaks my heart. Breaks my heart. But I think that if you're a lawyer worth your weight in salt, and you probably are, you know why we're done, and that I have no choice. My verdict in this case is for the defendant. Good luck, folks.
Well, so let's find out what the plaintiff thinks about this. Are you satisfied that the judge rules that he really didn't do anything wrong? Here, stay right next to her.
Of course not. I think the judge is going to have a hard time sleeping tonight after that verdict.
I know. Well, she's only because she's empathetic, but according to the law, what do you expect to happen?
I don't know. The way that it was going, I thought maybe she would rule for the reimbursement of the dog. That's what it sounded like.
All right, so how is the dog doing? I had a Wheaton for 14.
She's so sweet.
I had a Wheaton for 14, then I had the second Wheaton for another 14.
She's so sweet. She's such a good girl.
Yeah. Diaper or no diaper?
That's all that matters.
Diaper or no diaper? It's still a Wheaton.
Exactly.
All right. Okay. Good luck with the dog, and head right down this way. All right. Come on in here. Put yourself in her shoes. How would you?
I feel horrible about her dog being sick, and that she elected to go ahead with a very expensive surgery that wasn't guaranteed to work. I wanted her to have a new puppy from another breeder, and she didn't accept it. And then I offered to do what I could, and she didn't accept it. So I do understand. It happened to my dog, and I'm sorry.
That's it from the courtroom, Harvey.
Okay, I promise I tell you why you're wrong. Here's why you're wrong. I am telling you, I do a lot of work with animal rescue. Dogs that are rescued, I'm telling you, they never forget. They know what you did. And I know that sounds weird and crazy, but it's true. And there's a connection you have with these dogs, and they are grateful in ways that you just wouldn't believe until you do it. That will do it for this case. Litigants for the next case on the way into the courtroom right now.
The McDonald's Snack Wrap is back. You brought it back. Ranch Snack Wrap. Spicy Snack Wrap. You broke the internet for a snack. Snack Wrap is back. Ba-da-ba-ba-ba.
With a major selection of the looks your kiddos love, starting at just $4 in the Walmart app, a new school year means a stylish new them. Who knew? Find skater skirts and Crocs that say, I'm casual but cool. Sparkly sneakers that say, it's my classroom, you're just learning in it. And preppy polos that say, I'm the teacher's pet, even if they're mommy's menace at home. Find their favorite styles starting at just $4 in the app. The Walmart you thought you knew is now new.
This is the plaintiff, George Dewey. He says he purchased a two-bedroom house that the defendant was renting at the time he purchased it. It became quite clear she wasn't going to pay the rent or the utilities, so he began eviction proceedings to get her out. The woman still owes him for back rent, unpaid gas and electric, and his dream home has turned into a nightmare because of all the problems the defendant has caused. He's suing for $3,551.19 for all he's owed. This is the defendant, Carol O'Connell. She says she can't believe the plaintiff's suing her for eviction proceedings because she was leaving anyway once she found out he bought the place. He's also trying to sue her for rent when he wasn't even her landlord. She never had any agreement with him and certainly doesn't owe him a penny. She's accused of squatting.
All parties, please raise your right hands.
Welcome back to the People's Court. Next case in the docket. The plaintiff bought a house that the defendant was renting. The defendant wouldn't get out, and the plaintiff had to take the defendant to court to do the job. Now, she says the guy's not her landlord, so pound sand. It's the case of squatter. He hardly knew her.
Okay, George Dewey?
Yes.
You are suing Carol O'Connell for $3,551.19. You say she owes in utilities, legal fees, and rent for breaching her rental agreement with you. Tell me what's going on.
I purchased a small house in February of 2012, Your Honor. We were told by the realtor that sold us the house that Carol was current with her rental agreement with the past landlord. So I agreed to let her stay on at the same amount of money.
You found out later that wasn't true?
Yes, I did find that out, yes.
This is a beach house?
Yes,
Beach
correct.
cottage?
Yes.
Right on the beach?
Yes.
Okay. So March 1 comes, and do you get the rent check?
No.
All right. And then what happens?
When I went to the walkthrough on the sale of the property, I found her car in the driveway, windows open, window open in the house, front door open. I panicked. The first thing I thought about was possibly the heat is off, the pipes are freezing. So I went into the house to check to see if the thermostat was on, and when I got in the house, I just found a total dysfunction.
Okay, as in?
Rotten food all over the floors, mice, rats, clogged toilet. I found a lot of pill bottles, vodka bottles.
Empty?
Yes. Yes. Yes.
Okay, so March passes, you don't get rent for March.
Right.
But the prior owner had given you last month and security, correct? He
Yes,
transferred
correct.
that over to you.
Correct.
All right, so last month would cover March, right?
Right.
Now April comes, and she does not pay April 1st rent.
Correct.
Okay,
Right.
so technically she's in default certainly from that moment. When you say you panicked about the utilities, when you went in the house, the thermostat was the heat on or no?
Heat was on and just going out the window.
All right.
Yeah.
So what did you do regarding the utilities at that point?
The next day, I think I called the propane company. They said the account was in arrears, $763, I believe.
Did you pay that?
Yes, I did.
Did you call the other utilities, water and electric?
Yes, I did. I found out they were not current either, so I had them all converted into my name out of fear of, out of fear of the house freezing or being sued by somebody because somebody turned their heat off,
Okay.
This was a new experience for me.
Yes, you're new at this. I know. You're definitely new at this.
And there's
All right.
no fool like an old fool, they
Okay.
say.
All right. So please hand my bailiff all of the receipts for the utilities that you paid. You're then suing for rent. You've applied the security deposit to April, and you're suing for rent in May because she never came back, right?
No, I heard that she was down in Florida back in some type of a place
so
before the
who
summer.
moved all her stuff? A house full of stuff. Who moved it?
I moved it from the inside of she had rented a pod and put it in the next door neighbor's yard. I have a picture of, the pod and some dates on it.
May I see that?
Yes, you may.
Okay, Ms. O'Connell, what's going on?
I rented the house and I paid my rent. I even paid March rent. I have a
Okay,
copy.
can you show me proof of that? Who'd you pay March rent to?
Anna. I paid all of my utilities. The house was not a mess at all.
Okay, can you show me proof you paid your utilities? Because I see proof he paid your utilities.
I paid them.
Okay, now prove to me that you paid them, because I'm seeing the bill where you didn't pay them, and I'm seeing his cashed check where he paid them. So you can't just say you paid them and move on.
I didn't have a lease with him. I had a lease with him, and I paid him right up to the end.
I'm sorry. You knew the house had been sold?
No, I did not. No, I did not.
Prove to me you paid March rent in March. You got to be kidding me. Just because you wrote it in somewhere on a piece of paper, that's not proof. I want to see the canceled check. Where is it?
I don't have the canceled check.
Okay, so prove to me that you actually paid your bills, because I am seeing the exact opposite of what you're saying. I am seeing that you have a bill, that you don't pay it. I see the gas bill, I see the electric bill, and I see the water bill weren't paid for a period of time, and then I see his canceled check paying the bill. So if you paid the bill, I need to see proof.
All right. Well, I didn't know he bought the house. I was away in February. I had no...
Who are these nice ladies right here?
One's my sister and one's my friend.
Sister, come on up.
Okay, so I own a house, I sell it to you, but she's a tenant when you buy it. Are you automatically her landlord?
Oh, definitely. I'm definitely her.
Oh, no, don't look at her that way, dude. Jeez. Oh, my God. You know what? We got to take a break. Calm down. Going inside the courtroom.
What was going on then?
She was in a treatment center from February, most of March, April. She had
Were you in communication with her?
No, you can't. Not all the time.
What kind of substance abuse, my dear?
Alcohol and depression.
Okay. How long were you in a treatment center?
I was in for the middle of February to the middle of March, and then I went back at the end of March till July.
How you doing?
I'm fine.
Fine?
Yeah, I'm doing really good.
Okay, that's good. But what are we going to do about your bills?
But the thing
when you say you had a lease with the other guy, that's fine. But unless you're going to prove to me, even if you were to prove to me that you paid that other guy March, April, May, I'd have to see it to even give you advice about how you should sue that crook for accepting rent that he didn't deserve. But I'm not buying that, because your sister knows February 10th that he notified her, I bought the house, I can't reach your sister.
But I was still
all makes sense, because you were in rehab and she couldn't reach you.
Well, I talked to her, but all the bills were in her name, and she had paid all the bills. The water bill...
You can't just keep repeating yourself.
The water bill...
It doesn't make it so that you repeat yourself. Show me proof that you paid any bills in February, March, or April.
She didn't, because he put it in his name. How could she pay his bills?
Oh, so it's not that you paid your bills, it's that he paid your bills, and you don't feel that you have to pay them because they were in his name.
I didn't have a lease with him. I've never signed one thing with him.
When did you finally get your stuff out of there?
By the end of April.
Okay, can you prove that you got your stuff out of there by the end of April?
My sisters moved everything out. Everything.
Just show me the pod that you rented. Show me the paperwork for the pod. Okay, because he says it's May, and that's relevant because he's suing you for May rent.
We don't have it.
Okay, what do you want me to do? He's got proof that he paid the bills. You're responsible for utility bills for that place until your lease ended when? April 30th or May 30th?
I just
all this stuff was up by April 29th, Your Honor. And
here's your lease, and the lease says.
I had called Mr.
Just a
Dewey
moment,
and
ma'am.
told him.
Here's your lease, May 30th. You have a lease until May 30th.
Your Honor, we really aren't arguing about the utilities. It's about the fact that, she wasn't there, she was in and out.
Okay, folks, I understand that you have problems, but there is none so blind as she who will not see, okay? And, I see the legal bills for the eviction, because you can't just wait forever for rent to be paid. Technically speaking, she's supposed to be paying March rent. She doesn't pay it because, he can take the last month's rent and think that's the last month. But last month was May. I mean, come on, guys. I understand that you have problems, but you're going to turn around and stiff him over them?
I didn't stiff him.
Ms. O'Connell, I am I'm happy for you. If, in fact, you have this time in your life and these months that you took have put you on a better course and have healed you. But also, there's ancillary costs to being an addict. You can't expect that you're going to abandon your apartment, not have communication, not speak to the landlord has now taken over, not pay March, not pay April, get out whenever, come to court completely proofless, even though you have total power to get the proof, like the checks that you claim you paid for rent, or the checks that you claim you paid for utilities that weren't back due. You could do all that, but you didn't. And I don't think that you didn't because you're not sober now. I think that you didn't because it doesn't exist. this is one of the costs of being an addict. Another cost of being an addict is the pain and heartache that you cause your sister, who loves you and ends up getting dragged into things in order to help you. I hope that you are grateful and that you show your gratitude to your sister then, now, and forever. I wish you the best, but you got to pay your bill. $3,551.19. Verdict for the plaintiff.
Both sides hold on right there.
And with that ruling against them, the defendant leaves the courtroom. Step on in here and tell me what's the feeling on the outcome here. You guys stand right next to her.
I feel that he lied.
All right. Well, the proof is not there. You know, the word is one thing and the proof is something else. But what lessons have you learned out of all this?
Bring documentation.
Right. Bring evidence to court. That's a good one. Anything else?
People lie.
That's what you've learned? People lie? All right. How's everything going in your life now?
Good.
All right. Good luck. All right. So you step in here and tell me, what was this like dealing with them as tenants? Right around this way. Okay, go.
Diplomatically, living hell. One of the most excruciating experiences of my life, in spite of the fact I was trying to do the right thing for everybody all along and didn't even get a thank you in the end. Very disappointing.
Okay, let's go to Harvey.
You know, you cannot assume that the place you're renting, if somebody buys that place, that you automatically get a free ride. You don't. And that will do it for this case. Litigants for the next case on the way into the courtroom right now.
This episode is brought to you by Nespresso Virtual Coffee Machines. Ready to enjoy the bold flavors of barista-quality Nespresso iced coffee at home? Simply fill a glass with ice and press the brew button on your virtual pop machine to enjoy rich double espressos roasted to stand up even when chilled. Refreshingly bold iced coffee. Refreshingly easy to make at home. Visit Nespresso.com to shop now.
This is the plaintiff, Melinda Whitaker. She says she bought a car from the defendant, and from the very first day, she had major problems driving it. When she brought it to a mechanic, he told her the entire thing was rusted out. She was duped by the flim-flam car man and is suing for the return of her hard-earned $2,000. This is the defendant, Freddie Gaines. He says the plaintiff came to him in dire need of a car, so he sold her a 1996 Nissan Maxima, which he told her needed work. That's right, she knew full well what she was buying. He's done everything under the sun to make this woman happy, but the buck has to stop somewhere. He's accused of selling a dud spud.
All parties, please raise your right hands.
Welcome back to the People's Court. Next case on the docket, the plaintiff says she bought a lemon from the defendant, a rusted out lemon, but the defendant says she bought a 96 Maxima, so what did she expect? It's the case of Grody to the Maxima.
Thank you, Douglas. Melinda Whitaker.
Yes, ma'am.
You are suing Freddie Gaines for $2,000 that you paid for a car.
Yes, ma'am.
That, according to you, is a complete and total lemon. Tell me what happened.
Freddie's basically sold me the car.
Did you know him before this?
Yes, his sister did my hair last year, and she basically told me that he sold cars and that they were good cars, and she recommended me to him.
Okay.
And I went to him back then, tried to get a car for him, but it didn't work out. So this year I was in dire need of a car because I had school and my kids had school, so, you know, I had to have transportation. I went to Freddie. Freddie said he had a car for me. He sent me a picture of the car. I told him, you know, I liked it, and then I finally met him to pay for the car.
Wait, weren't you going to drive the car? And see
that's what I mean. I went to meet him at the auction. When I went to go see the car was basically on like a battery charger thing, so I wasn't able to drive it that day because he said he had to fix the alternator or put a new battery inside the car before I was able to drive it. But as far as everything else with the car, I looked.
What's everything else?
As far as
other than that, Mrs. Lincoln, how did you like the play?
I mean, as far as like the way the car looked and that he told me.
Pretty.
Yeah, not pretty,
it's
but
pretty.
Not
yes,
that
it's
it was
pretty.
It was just, something that I needed. So when I went to see the car, I looked at the car.
What you need are reliable wheels for you and your kids.
Exactly.
Right, so that's why you have to test drive a 17-year-old car.
Exactly.
How old is this car? 17, right?
About that.
It's older than my kids.
Yeah.
How old is the car? What year?
96.
96 what?
Nissan Maxima.
Go ahead.
So I went, I looked at the car. He said to give him a couple of days to get, so he can fix the car. And
what's the Blue Book value on this thing?
I'm not even sure.
Can we get the Blue Book value on this thing?
A 96 Nissan Maxima.
1996. What?
Nissan Maxima.
Nissan Maxima.
Okay.
So go on.
I brought him to the bank with me, gave him the $2,000. I went to drive the car to Walgreens. Went to get out the car, couldn't get back in the car because the keys didn't work for the car. So I called Freddie. I'm like, Freddie, the keys don't work for the car. Oh, I didn't know. What you mean you didn't know? So I ended up getting the key made. The same day I got the key made, I went because I was driving the car and it sounded like the muffler may have had a hole in it. So I took it to one of my muffler guys and he put it up on his lift and he's like, okay, I can't do anything about this car because underneath this car is rotten. He's like, basically whoever sold you this car didn't look underneath the car because this car can basically, it's a safety hazard to the road. So I have pictures of when I first took it to the mechanic. I had the pictures. There's one picture in there where his hand is in a hole underneath the car, and it's just rusted.
Did he take pictures of the bottom?
Yes.
Did he put it up and take pictures?
Yes, ma'am.
So what do you do when you discover this?
I call Freddie. I'm like, Freddie, underneath the car is so rotten. I had my muffler guy, mechanic guy, look underneath it for me. He's telling me that it's a hazard onto the road. What can you do for me? Like, I'm willing to have a trade-off with a different car if you have it. Or if you can't give me that, I feel like you should give me my money back because I haven't even had this car, haven't even sat at my house, not even for a day yet, before I even, find out all these problems that's going on with the car. So he's like, okay, bring it to one of my mechanics. I brought it to his mechanic. There was a mechanic named Joe. He said, he called Freddie on the phone and said, Freddie, you really actually gave this lady the car looking like this? And he looked underneath the car with a jack now and said that he's seen the rust and everything underneath the car and that the rust is under the radiator. And he was like, did you also know that the radiator is tied up? And I'm like, tied up? So he's like, he said, basically Freddie told him, let me know what you can do about the car and give me a call back. So after that, still no phone call.
Do you know what the Blue Book value of the car is?
No, ma'am. I really
Do you know what I mean when I say that?
Yes, I do.
How do you know you got a good deal from Freddie? How do you know he didn't completely rob you? The Blue Book value in fair condition, which is what I would call this based on the pictures I'm seeing, is $1,311. And he charged you $2,000.
$2,000.
Right. What's going on?
All right, basically here, Melinda called me saying, hey, Freddie, I need a vehicle. So I said, okay, I'll work it out for you, Melinda. Meet me at the auction, and we'll go ahead. I'm going to show you this vehicle.
What's the auction?
The Orlando Auto Auction.
Do you have to have a license to do that?
The license, yes. You have to have the auto.
Do you have a license to do that?
I have the card that allows me auction access.
The card that allows you auction access.
And I'm also affiliated with other dealers as well.
What does that mean? You're affiliated
Meaning
with
that
other dealers?
when this car was bought, it was from one of my buddies, one of my other dealer buddies. So I said, okay.
What do you mean it was bought from a dealer buddy?
Meaning that the car was purchased by her, but since I know her.
Where's the paperwork for the transaction, the bill of sale for this car to Melinda? Let me see what you've got.
This is what he gave me without any signatures on it.
Let me see everything.
Like, this is what I got with the signatures on it.
Defendants.
We sell this, the thing that you signed says the following: we sell this vehicle as is, not expressly warranted or guaranteed with all faults. What do you think that means?
That I basically bought it as is, but I have a text message from Freddie telling me that he will go half with me to fix the car, depending on the amount of the price of how much it is to fix it. I don't have my car. Freddie has my car. It's been a whole month. No one's called me. No one's told me anything.
What's going on? She sued because nobody communicated with her. What ended up happening?
How stupid is this woman? 96 Maxima did not test drive.
Oh, you have to have a test drive or have a mechanic look at it.
Would you do both, a mechanic and?
I would have started by buying a Honda, but other than that, yeah, I would have test drove it.
You're our friendly Honda man. Hey, going inside the courtroom.
When I told Melinda to bring the car, after her mechanic told her that the frame of the car was wrong or bad, I said, bring the car over here. My mechanic
Where's here?
My mechanic, Wayne. I got a statement from Wayne saying that the radiator core support did have rust on it, and which he said he'll do the entire job for $150. Her mother had called me specifically, and I said, I'll go half on it with you, $75, if she agrees to pay the other half.
Okay.
I did.
Well, then what happened?
She never came up with the $75. She never called him.
Let me tell you.
Wait a minute.
Okay.
It is not my responsibility because I told her to bring the car over there. So she brings.
Well, who has the car?
The car's at Wayne's house still. Melinda has not came and got that car, nor has she tried to call me.
I have text messages that the last text message I sent him, I told him, Freddie, I said, I do not trust this car. I have kids. I can't drive this car.
Okay.
I said, you can either trade me out a different car or give me my money back. There's nothing else. I have a letter right here from the muffler.
Well, there is something else. And the something else is that you need to understand that when you buy a 17-year-old car, there are dangers involved in that. This is an as-is sale. Your contract that you signed says it's as-is. So you have issues. So when someone tells you, you know, I'll go 75, you go 75, maybe you should get it fixed. And if you don't feel comfortable with the car, you sell the car. But you got to do something. You can't just say, give me back my money, that's all I'll take.
But
because
no,
that may not be one of your options.
He never called me and told me about any. I don't know anything about
Show
any
me the text you
75.
talked about.
Right here. I said, I don't trust that car. My mechanic says the car is
That's fine, but you keep saying, I don't trust that car either. The difference between you and I is that you think he's got to eat your contract. I think this stinks. I think that your former hairdresser's brother was completely taking you for a ride. I think it's awful that he would charge you $2,000 for a car he was paying $854, plus of course a tax and title and all that other stuff. I think it's awful. But you know what? This is America, baby. Okay? Yes, you had $2,000 in your pocket to buy a car. Maybe you needed to exercise your judgment a little more judiciously. You need one thing. I don't know why you're nodding. You look like garbage here right now. You know, what do you mean no? Are you kidding me? You bought an $850. This is your sister's friend. You couldn't treat her a little better than this? But at the end of the day, you signed a contract that said as is. It's crazy. Crazy. Verdict for the defendant.
Well, it's too bad the plaintiff comes out with nothing here, but maybe a lesson learned. Well, first of all, what's your reaction to what just went down?
I mean, I'm very upset. I mean, I put my trust in him, and he basically just threw me under the bus. So once a crook, always a crook. What can I say?
So where does that leave you now?
Hey, move on to the next.
All right, right around the corner there. Better luck with your next car. So here's Freddie Gaines, ladies and gentlemen. Step on in here.
How you doing?
Good. How do you sleep at night?
I sleep pretty good because I know what the contract says. Sold as is. She came and evaluated the car, and if she didn't like it, she didn't have to agree to it. She could have said no. On to the next car.
Mm-hmm.
So,
meantime, you knew you were selling her a car that was worth $1,300 in the blue book for $2,000. I guess that's how you make your living, right?
That's how I make my living. That's how I keep my lights on. So,
you got to eat, right?
I got to eat.
Harvey?
The only way to undo a sale like this is proving fraud, a material misrepresentation, and that wasn't the case here.